What you're about to see does not happen very often in chess. In fact, this is probably one of my top 3 games of all time because two really interesting things happened. Number one, I blundered my queen to a pre-move on move 8 because I wasn't expecting my opponent to go there. I had pre-moved this knight move and he just captured my queen. And then the second reason is later on in the game, you're going to get to see a dynamic of 5 pawns against a rook. Technically, that should be equal, right? 5 pawns are worth 5 points. A rook is 5 points. But practically, you never get to see that. Like, when's the last time you saw a game of chess that had 5 pawns against a rook? You just don't get to see that, right? And you're probably wondering, how did you even survive after blundering your queen to have an equal 5 pawns against a rook, right? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Like I said, probably top 3 games of all time for me. Let me show you how it happened. So I played the French defense. He pushed by, and I played bishop d7. This is a line that I learned from Grandmaster Avo over on Chess Mood. And the point is we're going to play a6, bring our bishop over here, and trade off our bad bishop for white's good bishop. So that's exactly what I did. He took it. I took back. And this is pretty typical where I'm going to play c6 and knight d7 almost every time, unless they attack my queen. And of course, this is not a good move. But it's a speed chess game, and I pre-moved it. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like rook e1 or a queen move, or sometimes they'll play knight d2 here. Like most people, I don't feel like do this because it's very easy to deal with, and then the bishop's actually a target, and I just was not expecting it, right? So they surprised me. My pre-move comes in, and I'm down a queen. I have to be honest with you. I thought about resigning right here because I lost my queen, and that just seemed like a logical thing to do. I mean, my opponent's rated 2,400, 2,436. Not a bad player, right? And I literally have no compensation whatsoever. I'm just down a queen for a bishop. That's it. And I'm like, you know what? It's a speed chess game. You never know what happens. I may as well just play a few more moves and just let him finish off the game, right? So I took it back. I took with the king because I wanted to leave my rook on the open file, half open file. Brought my king up. First stopped the knight from coming in. And then I brought my other knight around, and I'm threatening a fork. And actually, maybe I should put the eval bar on because this might be interesting for you guys to see. So let me actually go back, and you could see right here. It's equal, and then there's the blunder. 5 advantage for white. Okay, that's where we're at. Now, I threaten a fork, but it's not really a big deal, even though he lets me do it. Because, yeah, even though I get a knight for a rook, I'm still so far behind, right? And I'm trading pieces to do this. It's just not even that helpful. I mean, look at the eval bar. It hardly even changes. It's like, that doesn't even matter. So I got a rook for a knight. Like, whatever. Okay, g6. I mean, I'm just like, you know what? My position's pretty solid. I'll just, like, sit here and not do anything and see what happens. So, okay, he goes, I go. Bring the knight around. Put my rook there. I'm just going to double up on the half open file. What else am I going to do? I don't have a queen, right? I go back. I bring it over. He plays c4. I mean, it makes sense. Logically, you want to try to open up my king, and so he's pushing forward. I don't really have too many options. If I don't do anything, he is going to take and open up that way. So I decided, you know what? Let me just go ahead and attack. Maybe my rooks can somehow invade here. We start taking some pawns, right? c5. He pushes by. This is a very bad-looking bishop now. The knight, I don't really want to go back because where am I going to go if I go back? If I go back here, where am I going to go from there, right? So I'm like, okay, you don't generally want to trade pieces when you're down. But I said to myself, at least my rook is active. It's attacking the queen. Sorry, it's attacking the queen. It's attacking the pawn. Now it clears the way for the other rook to come up. And I was thinking maybe I could win a couple of pawns. You know, it's something, right? So that's exactly what I did. Brought it up. Of course, there's a queen check. He could have gone here, but I was just going to go back. And then I was even thinking, like, I don't know, maybe I can even trap the queen somehow. Like, so I wasn't super worried. And white decided the same thing, like, it's not worth going there. So they just played a3. So they stop any rook b4 ideas. But it let me take this pawn. And now I'm threatening this pawn. I'm like, okay, at least I'm getting a couple pawns here. All right, great. Took the pawn with check. Now they move here. And I noticed an opportunity. If you guys would like to pause, what move would you play in this position? Okay, well, you probably noticed that my rook is under attack, right? So you may have thought about moving the rook somewhere. The problem is I don't have a good, check here. And I was like, I don't really know. The queen's going to come in. The rook's going to come. I don't like this. I really wanted to take this pawn. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I can just take it because after this, I have a skewer and I take the queen. What I failed to realize and maybe you guys are noticing this, is that it's costing me one rook, and then it's costing me another rook. So I'm essentially losing 2 rooks for a queen, which is not that good, right? And I'm already down a queen, so that's just not helpful. But in my mind, I thought it was good. So I did it. And here we go. And I'm like, wait a second, I got the queen, but I'm still down a rook. This is not going to end well for me. However, I have this nice little move, thanks to my opponent. And let me explain. If they would have gone up here, takes, guess what? I can't go there. Game is over. The game is over. I have no chance. However, they went back, which gives me a sliver of hope now because I can play bishop to d4, which is forking these pieces, and you can't save it with the knight because you lose your rook. Okay, so I have something. All right, so bishop d4 happens. They obviously save the rook and save the knight, and I take the pawn. So I'm like, okay, I've got a few pawns here in the center. Like, maybe we could do something. And then they make this move and give me another pawn. And I'm like, I mean, at this point, I'm going to take it. I'm just going to take whatever I can. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 pawns. If you take away 2, we have 5 pawns against a rook. This is fascinating. This is not like a normal chess game, right? 5 pawns against a rook. I mean, this is cool. And you'll notice like the rook actually can't invade because of all these pawns, right? It's pretty funny. So, okay, now we have a game. A4. I pushed my pawn. I'm like, I may as well. Well, why not? And you notice I have them all on the opposite color of my bishop. That's intentional so that we get maximum coverage of the board. I want my bishop to cover the dark squares. I want my pawns to cover the light squares. And that's usually a good strategy. Now, at some point, you have to push the pawns, and they are going to land on a dark square, but it could just be temporary, and then you go to the white square. You're going to see that in just a second. So I go back, and then here we go. This is what I'm talking about. I have to push it on the dark square, but I'm immediately going to go to a white square, and I'm keeping this super nice pawn chain where everybody is defended, and, white has to figure out how to stop these pawns. They bring the rook over. I don't want to let the rook in, so I play f5. And again, you can't come in here because my h-pawn. You can't come in here because my f-pawn. You can't go here because your own pawn and your own pawn, which is really funny. Like if these pawns weren't here, the rook would potentially be able to just come in, right, and start taking stuff. But they are there. It's really fascinating. And the knight, of course, is limited by my bishop. So it's like, okay, white has the rook, but what are they going to do, right? They come over. I push. I'm like, I've got the pawns. I may as well use them. I attack the knight, and now something really funny happens. The knight goes into the corner. Now, if a knight is ever in the corner, it doesn't have a lot of options. Okay, it only has two places. So I said to myself, I should probably keep the knight in the corner. Bishop h4. Okay, we just keep it. Like, you can't come out. Rook comes up. I'm like, I guess he wants to maybe swing over here, and then the knight come out or something. I don't think so. G3 attacks my bishop. I go back, tries to bring out the knight, but then I'm like, wait a second. I see that I can win yet another pawn unless the knight is willing to go back in the corner. Because if you push it, I'm just going to take it. If you otherwise, you can't defend it. The king's too far, the rook is blocked off, right? So only move you want to defend your pawn, and that's exactly what they did. Knight to h1. But now I'm really happy because I'm like, the knight is in the corner, stuck guarding a pawn, which essentially means I have all of these pawns and my bishop against the rook, and I don't have to worry about the knight. I'm like, I might actually be winning this game that started when I blundered my queen. c5. Okay, defend the pawn. Okay, push him. I mean, I've got him. I may as well push him. Now we're attacking here, and my point is like, look, if you come over here and try to start taking these, I'm just going to push and get a queen, right? So my opponent decides to go here instead, but it's kind of the same thing. He's trying to take pawns, but I don't really care. Check. I go here. I'm about to get a queen. What's the move for black? That's correct. Bishop to e3, and my opponent resigned. If they take it, I get a queen with check, and this is just winning. I have so many pawns. I can take all the pieces. Can you believe that this happened? Like how did this is the same game. I can't even talk. This is the same game where I just blundered my queen to a pre-move mistake. This is amazing. And then we had this moment right here, okay, where I did get a fork, but it was like kind of insignificant, but it was something. And then it was like winning pawns and just winning pawns the rest of the game, right? So let's look at it. Right here. So, okay, we won a pawn. This one. We're going to win the D pawn, right? Cool, I got a pawn. Oh, I got another pawn. Oh, I got another pawn, and then we trade the rook. So essentially I got 3 pawns there, right? Okay, still down the rook. But wait, there's a 4th pawn. There's the 5th pawn. And then you saw how we've... This is amazing. This is crazy, right? This is crazy. So yeah, one of my top 3 games of all time. Just the way that the pawns, like, just dominated this game, like, is just crazy. Like, the rook was, like, powerless. And then the bishop was dominating the knight, and it's just, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I can't believe this happened. Anyway, thank you guys for letting me share that with you. I hope you can appreciate that and learn something. Let me know in the comments if you found it interesting. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Stay sharp. Play smart. Take care.